Which of these three cookies is the original one? Of course, Hydrox is a knockoff. Everyone around the world knows the famous Oreo cookie, right? Well, actually, Oreo was a copycat brand introduced 4 years after Hydrox. But what contributed to Oreo becoming the world's best-selling cookie still going strong up to this day, while Hydrox can only be recalled by a few? Did Oreo solve any big consumer pain? Did America need yet another cookie? Was it significantly better than Hydrox? No, there was no real indications that Oreo could propose any significant added value. So the answer to what helped Oreo's success is of course strategic brand equity building. Let's look at the 3 key brand building stages that can be identified in Oreo's brand life. In its early beginnings, the market Oreo entered was all about differentiating through the product and its functional benefits. Consumers who were not yet used to brands targeting their emotions were simply looking for proof that the cookies were of the best quality and taste. Hence, it's exactly what Oreo's communications focused on at the time. A brand that provided a creamy filling, a brand that offered an exquisite taste. These were to fulfill consumers' functional needs. However, already back then, Oreo wasn't just a functional brand. The fact that it could be taken apart and eaten any way a consumer wanted demonstrated the fun and playful side to Oreo. Through its communications, Oreo invited consumers to lick the creamy filling and portrayed children having fun with Oreo in its TV ads, all of which showcase an emotional side of fun and playfulness. So Oreo was becoming a successful brand, and to keep getting bigger, it had to start looking for further growth opportunities. Creating a new context for consumption could offer any brand an opportunity to grow incremental sales. However, instead of becoming bound to any existing occasion, Oreo's genius was in creating its own ritual. A fun and playful ritual of twist, lick, dunk became an occasion in its own right. Where there was milk, there had to be an Oreo, and where there was an Oreo, there had to be milk. As well as growing in its home market, it was time for Oreo to grow abroad. Whereas it would have been difficult to adapt to every culture-specific consumption occasion in every market, Oreo did not have to deal with such challenge. Instead, while Oreo did a tremendous job in being responsive to local tastes in its marketing mix amendments, the brand itself stayed the same. The strongly embedded brand ritual of twist, lick, and dunk was introduced in almost every new country Oreo entered. Fun and playfulness were universal emotions across the world. Hence, Oreo's association with these was the right fit in reaching global consumers. In 2012, Oreo celebrated its 100th birthday. In this new era, it found itself in a whole new market again, a world of digital, social media, and pop culture. But did Oreo actually have a real personality? Could it engage in consumer brand communications while staying true to its associations with great taste and fun? This is when its brand management had to go back to the drawing board. Giving Oreo real human-like characteristics and elevating fun into playful was what really helped Oreo in becoming relevant to today's consumers. This meant breaking away from traditional marketing and owning the digital space. It all started with the 100-day Daily Twist campaign that put an Oreo twist on the key cultural events around the world. It was then followed by one of the most retweeted posts during the Super Bowl's blackout, to now its long-term Play with Oreo campaigns, engaging consumers in Oreo licking challenges and sharing its wonder-filled imagination triggering stories. These campaigns embodied a cookie as a conversational in-touch brand. In an era in which brands were told they should be acting like people, Oreo certainly developed a real personality. Today, it ranks as an expert across a variety of topics on social media. Additionally, although the twist leg dunk ritual was a genius invention before, it was becoming exhausted. The current trends of an increasing pace of life and on-the-go lifestyles meant that Oreo had to be taken outside the kitchen. Hence, the concepts of brand personality made sense. Finally, Oreo's brand personality campaigns were also a way of attracting a whole new audience to the brand, this way adding incremental sales to the biscuit category. It had gone a long way from being primarily a children's and family brand to now also appealing to young adults and millennials. So what is it that all 3 Oreo brand development stages have in common? It is the fact that while the market, consumer expectations, and lifestyles have been changing, Oreo has always stayed current. It has been true to the core values of fun and playfulness throughout the years, while massively shaping the way it communicated them to better match market trends. Can we therefore evaluate Oreo as a very strong and successful brand? Yes. High scores on each of the 4 brand asset valuation pillars place Oreo in a very high stature, high strength quadrant of the brand asset valuator. The brand has now achieved not only awareness, but what could be classified as cult following. The whole digital space is full of consumer-generated content featuring Oreos. It is not just a cookie, but the brand name has turned into a noun. It is best illustrated by Oreo being the star ingredient in millions of food recipes, as well as by its distribution in foods like milkshakes and ice creams at numerous restaurants worldwide. However, with today's environment being more dynamic than ever, there is a threat of Oreo's brand potential eroding. Even a great brand needs investment and caring if it is to retain its relevance and vitality. So what can Oreo do in order to stay at the top? Kensington 8 presents a real-life Oreo Wondervault. It is high time for Oreo to take its play with Oreo more literally and add a place to its product. Oreo Wondervault should be a flagship entertainment space located in central London. Why London? Because it is the #1 tourist city in the world, and with Oreo being a global brand, it should be accessible to all of its global fans. Instagram-worthy interior design of the place will ensure a continuous stream of consumer-generated content to Oreo's social media. Cheerful colors, energetic music, game spaces, and the overall experience should continuously contribute to enhancing Oreo's core brand identity and targeting both children as well as the inner child in every adult. Oreo baking classes should be held on a weekly basis, further elevating the Play with Oreo concept, while also teaching people to extend their usage of Oreos in new ways, which is likely to increase Oreo consumption in the market. Personalization should be a big aspect of the services provided at the Wondervault, as this is what will keep Oreo differentiated from the rest of the biscuits on the market. Following the example of last year's Oreo's e-commerce project in the US, visitors could be invited to design and digitally color in their own Oreo packaging. Basically, think M&M's world, but focus much more on entertainment and services rather than selling the product. At the Wondervault, Oreo fans, as well as those new to the brand, should be given a real opportunity to get their hands dirty and engage.